Hey everybody, Petty Officer Glover here, talking to you today about 10 little known benefits about being in the Navy. Now, these are some benefits that don't show up in your normal day to day recruitment video. These are things that even some people in the Navy don't really take advantage of. So, check it out. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Navy Exchange. The Navy Exchange is the United States Navy's department store. It's a combination of a Target, a Best Buy, a Sears, all of those different sorts of stores. And what they do is they sell everything from electronics to clothes to makeup, even to things like designer handbags. And the big advantage of it isn't just the fact that the prices tend to be a little bit lower than you're going to find out in town a lot of times. It's also the fact that we don't pay sales tax. So if you're looking to buy something like a TV or a purse that's $300-400, you're going to be paying another $25 to $30 on top of that in sales tax in most states. So by going to the exchange, you actually end up saving yourself quite a bit of money, especially when you do it when something's on sale. Whenever you see military movies and you see them working out, it's always the same thing. There's somebody screaming at them as they run in formation, or they're on a obstacle course doing stuff like that. Real Navy, we have gyms. We have gyms on every single base that you go to, and they are completely state of the art. You've got heated pools, you've got free weights, you've got treadmills. Whatever you need to do your physical fitness, we have. We even do physical fitness classes. So you can go before or after work and you can do a spin class. You can do an MMA workout. You can do CrossFit. All of those things are available at Navy gyms. And a lot of people, even those in the Navy, don't take advantage of it. So if you've got an interest in physical fitness, the Navy is a way to really get to that next level. So a lot of people have this concern that when you go on a ship or when you're on shore, there's not going to be anything to do, that you're going to just work all the time and not have any time to yourself. And the Navy doesn't want you to have that. So what we do is we have what's called Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, MWR. And MWR's job is just like it sounds like. It's to build morale, make sure that you have a fun time. And it does that by a couple of different ways. The first way it does it is by scheduling events. This can be things like tours in a foreign country or video game tournaments on the ship, shoreside. You can do skydiving, go hiking. And what they do is they do big group events. And because they get funded in part from the Navy itself, these events tend to either be free or very low price. The second way they do it is by a group called ITT, which goes and gets free or reduced price tickets for military members. So if you're in some place like Florida, you can actually go to ITT and you can get tickets for Disney World at half price. In San Diego, you can get tickets to Disneyland or Legoland or SeaWorld for half price or sometimes even free. So if you want to go and you want to catch a sports game or you want to go to an amusement park, the first place to go to in the Navy is ITT. Save yourself the money. Go have yourself a good time. Since we're already talking about vacations, let's talk about the Armed Forces Recreation Center. These are hotels that are for military members only, and they're located in places like Waikiki, Hawaii, and Orlando, Florida, right outside Disney World. These hotels are about half the price of hotels in the area with all of the same amenities. So you still have family activities, you still have spas, you still have restaurants on site. And so it's a great benefit that even a lot of the military doesn't use. And the best part about it is that you pay based off of your rank. So when you're starting out as an E3 and E4 and you want to go do that Disney vacation, you're only going to be paying about $125 a night at a Shades of Green hotel in Florida versus the $300 you'd pay if you wanted to stay at a Disney hotel. So I'm going to kind of switch it up now. And I want to talk about some of the financial advantages that are available to you for being in the military. The first one is the VA home loan. Now, the VA home loan is not a loan given to you by the VA. Instead, the VA acts as a guarantor when you go to get a mortgage. For those of you who don't know what a guarantor is somebody who says that if you don't pay off the mortgage, then they'll pay it off for you. Now, banks like this because that means that they're going to get their money back no matter what. For the military member, it's very helpful because you can buy a home sooner. There's looser requirements on credit, on down payment, things like that. So because of the VA home loan, you can buy a home in your early 20s. The VA home loan is one of the major reasons why 80% of veterans own their home versus only 60% of non-veterans. So very similar to the VA home loan is the VA small business loan. A lot of people want to run their own business, and the small business loan is really the way to get going with that, either while you're still in the military or right after you get out. What it does is the VA once again acts as the guarantor, this time with a small business loan from America's Small Business Administration. They'll guarantee a loan of up to $3.5 million, and you can use that money for pretty much anything for your small business, whether it be creating the new business from the bottom up, expanding a business you already have, or just building up the infrastructure that you need to really get your business to the next level. So the next one I want to talk about is for those people who can speak more than one language. The military has something called Foreign Language Proficiency Bonus, which is money that you get paid every month simply for being able to speak a foreign language. Now, it's not every language, but it's a lot more than people realize, and the requirements are a lot different than what people think they are. When you talk about it, people think that you mean that you have to be an interpreter, that the only way that you can get this pay is if you learn how to speak another language in the military. That is 100% not true. What happens is that there's actually a speaking and a writing test. Once you pass those, the Navy gives you a proficiency rating. Different proficiency ratings get you different pay, up to $500 a month for the most in-demand languages. The best part is that if you're trilingual, you can actually get up to $1,000 a month in bonus pay, regardless of the job that you're doing. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is probably not going to seem very exciting, but in reality, it's one of the biggest benefits we get serving in the military that people don't know about, and it has to do with how our taxes are calculated. First off, depending on the state that you're from, you might not have to pay state income tax. Over half the states in the country do not charge income tax for military members, which, depending on where you're from, could save you several hundreds to several $1,000s a year. Now, the second thing that goes along with it is how our pay gets actually calculated. In addition to our general pay, we also get something that's called basic allowance for housing and basic allowance for sustenance. Now, the big difference between an allowance and a pay is that allowances aren't taxed. So when you have a basic allowance for housing that's $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 in a year that's not taxed. So even though I might be getting paid nearly $100,000 a year, I'm only getting charged federal tax on $75,000 of that. This is a huge change in your tax burden and ends up helping you save a lot of money. So I hope you learned something today about some of the lesser known benefits of serving in the military. If you want to know more about these or other benefits, contact your local Navy recruiter. And as always, follow me on Instagram at emn1_Glover. Thanks and have a great day.